Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Supreme Being. This is BC. This is going to be a regular forum podcast. I know I've been promoting the Distinguished Agent Summit recently that you can find at briancasella.com. Of course, I recommend all of you go there because this is the first time I'm really opening up my private event to the public. Right? I really, really recommend you go, not only to learn, but to meet the people. My community is top notch, for sure. All the links are in description. Schedule your strategy call. Get on the email list. You know the drill. Let's talk. This is the importance. Let me frame this, right? Because I'm going to talk about the importance of having the right teachers, mentorship, and all that today, right? We're going to unpack that very specifically today. But this is who this podcast is for. If you listen to me and you're looking to improve your life or start a particular career and you're not really looking to push the ante, get out of your comfort zone, be very skilled in that career, take your personal development to that ultimate level, right? If you're not looking to be top 5, 10%, like really up there in these categories, whether it's your personal fulfillment, personal development, or your career, then this really isn't going to be applicable to you. Okay. I just want to preface it. But this is the importance of it, right? Man, just looking back, like I'm just going to focus on real estate today for the most part, because that's been the vast majority of the last 10 years of my life. Real estate, business, that kind of stuff, sales. I'm not even going to talk about previous to that, like basketball and the other part of my life, right? We're just going to focus on the last 10 years. It is so invaluable, the support and help that I've gotten, especially in moments when I didn't know I would need it. That looking back, man, it's insane, right? So you go back, you rewind, right? Let's start with my real estate career. You rewind. I'm starting to get licensed in 2012, right? I did the traditional, in-person school route, right? In quotes, school, real estate school, which happened to be at my first office. Shout out to them, Century 21, Downey, California. I get it, right? Immediately, even before I officially pass and get my license, I got a coach. Even though my office had script practice, support, like it had some of those basic nuts and bolts. But I said, dude, that's great. But I want to take this thing, like I want to be top 10 by the end of the year. My goal was make 200 or 250,000 in commission my first year. Like, dude, I'm coming for everything and some. So I got a coach. Even before I got officially licensed. So with that coaching came an event. I go to the event, and again, because I don't want to, just give you all the details of these little minute details and events, I end up finding people and meeting people there that when I'm starting out, hey, I'm going to role play with 5 different people every day for 30 minutes or an hour. 3 people out of the 5 that I met at that coaching event ended up being role play partners for a long time, but already were big fish. I asked a ton of people, and 3 of them said yes. I think I asked probably close to 100 people, and 3 said yes. You might have heard this part of the story before. 3 said yes. But man, that transformed my career. Even within a couple of weeks, they're like, bro, you're getting good, right? I wouldn't have gotten that opportunity unless I got the coaching and decided to take it to that level. So what's behind that door of that ultimate commitment and mentorship and help that you get from a coach or whatever it is? And this goes beyond business, man. But that's why most of you follow me. You met me through business. You don't know what opportunities are behind that wall, that door, right? You have no idea until you decide to step through it. And a lot of people allow themselves to not step through it because of money or whatever the excuse is. And that's really what it is at the end of the day. Because I could have justified saying, well, I don't have the money. But I figured it out. Because when we want something, right? I saw a meme that made me laugh. It said, do you ever hear a crackhead say, I don't have any money, I'm not going to smoke today? No, they figure it out. Now, as silly as that example is, and it's highlighting addiction, which is a negative thing, you understand, dude, they're going to do whatever it takes to get that. Now, if we were to substitute that with something positive, that X, in quotes, crackhead would be a beast. So we look at that, right? That got my career going with a trajectory and momentum that was unreal. So it's not a surprise that in the first couple of weeks, I put like 2 deals together from my prospecting efforts and all that. And they helped me along the way too with advice. But that's a springboard, again, to hit top 5, 10%, really get up there. Because again, if you're listening to me and everything I've done and what I preach for every part of your life, we preach excellence here. Not, oh, above average, good, great. No, excellent, world renowned, legendary, prestigious. That's what we're pushing here. That's what I've been preaching for a long time. Okay. Number two, the importance of mentorship, coaching, and all that. A lot of people look at it from the perspective of, well, if I'm gonna, sign up with this dude or that dude or Brian, even you, like everyone gets caught up on, well, what's the information, right? Like they get so caught up on the information, which is the wrong way to look at it. There's no new information, y'all. Why do you think the majority of stuff you listen to on podcasts and whatever is a repeat of that same pretty much surface level stuff or stories? It's not the information. Will I have some information people haven't seen? Of course, because there may be topics or things that they haven't heard before. Sure. But the vast majority of sales, communication, business, I mean, that stuff is in books. It's been talked about like that. There's no new information. Let's get that straight. But again, that's not to say that's good or bad. It's you're focused on the wrong thing. You're paying or committing to or investing, whatever you want to call it, for the experience with the use of that information. Okay? You can even find on my YouTube channels and podcasts plenty of information for free on cold calling, door knocking, prospecting, lead generation, and sales that can serve you very well. For sure. I've gotten the stories and testimonials. I still get them to this day. A little less now that I'm censored, right? But you get the point. Now, the people that are close to me, team members, inner circle, masterminders, coaching members, all that, they hear a perspective and level of experience that no one else is hearing because they're in closer proximity to me. Those are the people that get the goods, or more of the goods, we can say. More in detail, more in depth, more what I can say the result of finding out what I've created and my creations that's done even better, that's expanded upon the regular stuff, the regular information. So it's you're looking at what we created as a product of getting the information, learning it, understanding it, and mastering it, and then using it 100 hours, 1,000 hours, 5,000 hours, 10,000 hours, now reporting back to you saying, hey, this is what I did. I'm about to walk your path. I'm walking your path. I walked it years ago. This is what you do. This is what you, right? That's what we're looking at here. The experience with the information, or new concepts derived from the original information would be another one we can say, right? Because I have my own unique ways of doing things. Even if we talk sales, right? I have language patterns. I have things that I've introduced from other genres. I have a uniqueness to what I do that's been a result of my efforts mastering the basic things and then graduating to another level. Again, that's an offer, an experience, and a perspective that you're not going to find somewhere else. It's not the information. It's new concepts and information potentially that have branched off from the original, but more than anything, the experience garnered. I can, walk you through specific details and scenarios and things that, man, no one's ever heard before because they're unique to me. And there are things that have been presented to me through a lot of work and experience and time invested into these things that we're discussing here. Right? So again, even if you're looking at something, avoid just getting caught. Oh, it's the information. That's that flashy bullshit people fucking try to market you. That has no substance, and we still fall for it. Because then what do they tell you? Oh, this is the information that makes it easy. And then even though we know it's bullshit, we buy it. You want to avoid that type of stuff. Okay? So we have that. Right? We have that, which is the experience, and then maybe the birth of new concepts and ideas based on the mastery of those basic fundamentals. Okay? That's that. I said a word previously in this first point that I don't know if you caught, right? You hear proximity is power. Another one I coined is nearness is necessary. Nearness. When you're close, right? When you're close, certain things begin to click. Being around me for my students, it's inevitable for certain things to shift that otherwise didn't before. Imagine, right? Like back in the day, you committed yourself to a sensei, right? For martial arts. There's a difference between going to see him once and then being his personal student every day. That proximity does a lot, and a lot that we can't even put into words. You get to be in their presence. You get to see them do certain things. They get to witness certain, we can say, chapters of your life unfolding, and certain points and pivotal moments in your development that they can give you feedback and this and that, right? They give a certain side of them that otherwise you're not going to get unless you're in that proximity. Access to certain moments and conversations and things that, again, how are you going to get? You also get insight into this, right? And here's a good example I can do to tie this point together. Even if you go to, like, let's say, go to something from way back in the day that I made, like 7, 8, 9 years ago, day in the life of a real estate agent. And people get a lot from, they're like, I love those videos. I got a lot from that. Well, let's think about that. That's a 7 or 10 minute video of snippets taken from a full day of what I did. What would serve you more, to have been next to me that whole day or watch a 7-minute highlight reel of that day? Obviously, the first one. Proximity, being close, having the ability for me to share with you in the moment. This is how I came up with that. This is why I said this. This is why I did that. That's going to serve you much better than watching the clip. Same thing with students that I've taken. Hey, come door to door with me for an hour. They get more from that than they ever got from hours and hours of videos, no matter how good the videos were. Why? It's different. But that opportunity isn't afforded to everybody, right? That nearness, that proximity is worth its weight in gold. Now, if some of you, see, I come from a background prior to this business where I know the power of that because of what I've done in athletics. I know what that's like. So it was very easy for me to pass that on now to business and real estate and sales. Because my quest and journey, if you didn't know, in basketball was to be the best of the best. I didn't come in and say, I want to be pretty good. I said, no, I want to be the best. I want to be famous. I want to be number one. That's who I want to be. That's that type of tenacity and commitment that I'm talking about that I prefaced in the beginning of this podcast. So now when I moved it over to doing business, of course, that seed was already there. But if you haven't competed at something or wanted to be the best of the best at something, this point may not make too sense, or it might be so unknown to you, you don't get it yet. Right? But when you're there, when you're close, when the sensei, right, the teacher knows you by first name, knows about your story, can reference to you, knows about your situation, and is teaching you, even in a group setting, can refer to you, can have moments of teaching you one-on-one, man, that is fucking priceless. And whatever I want to be good at, if I can achieve that, right, find a teacher to help me do that, dude, I go. I find what I perceive to be the best to me, at least. They have the results. I vibe with them. I like their style, whatever. Boom. And I go. And dude, event, coaching, whatever. I've done that in many ways for speaking, sales, real estate. I mean, everything. And it has required a lot of time investment, travel, money, blood, sweat, and tears, sacrifices. I don't care because I know that's what I need. I understand that proximity and nearness, dude, is huge. It's huge because the teacher, the sensei, in those cases, they also dedicate themselves to their students. You need to understand that. My team, my students, my mastermind partners, all this stuff, like, there's a level of commitment there from me. I give to them more because they've committed to me, right? It's an exchange. It's just a lot of people get caught up in the dollar because one of the quickest ways to facilitate that is, boom. I've gotten a lot of messages recently. Oh, man, I want to scale my business, this and that. And people contacting me to do it. Well, I only do that for my students, my team members, and people in proximity to. I'm not going to do that to random people. That's something that I reserve for them. I understand you have that request, but see, certain things are reserved. Certain things from the sensei to the student are reserved for that particular relationship. And people need to understand it. And one of the easiest ways to do it is with the money. That's what I did. So, dude, I don't have the firepower to sit at the table with these guys. They have 7-figure businesses. I have no business. Or they have $2 million businesses. I have $100,000. I can't sit at that table yet. But I know damn well if I pay, I can get there. And that's what I did. I swallowed my fucking pride and I paid. Because there's this illusion, I can just find it for free. No, you can't, dude. Believe me, you can't. This is why all the statistics prove the opposite. Abundance of free information, more people failing in entrepreneurship, real estate, and sales. There's just something to the teacher-student relationship and that dynamic and you having to earn it to be the best. You can't bypass it. People keep trying to find a way around it. It's not going to happen. And again, this probably doesn't really apply, this last piece that I went over the last 30 seconds, to somebody who's dedicated, because I never understood that mentality. But some people need to shake out of it, maybe because they didn't have a previous, experience or endeavor where they really wanted to push it to that level. And again, if you're looking to get into entrepreneurship, sales, or whatever it is, and you're listening to this and you're okay just wetting your toes and, being okay, I want to shoot for above average. You don't really have those high aspirations, and this might not apply to you because you don't want to take it to that level that requires that discipline and commitment and that grit and really, honing in. But again, whether it was basketball or now entrepreneurship and sales and what I'm doing here, I want to be the best. I want to be up there. I want to be sitting amongst the greats, sitting at the top of Mount Olympus. I want to be there. And if that's what you want to do, you have to accept the consequences and decisions that come with it. And you really have to make a decision. I'm at a crossroads. Am I going to dedicate myself and really be a man or woman of my word and step up? Or am I going to keep floating in the ecosystem with most people, right? And getting what I can get with minimal effort, right? And just accept that I'm going to do that. But you can't have huge aspirations and goals and want to be top 1%, 5%, but give minimum effort down here. You got to sit at the table with the badasses. You got to learn from the badasses. You got to be around them. You got to get around them. You have to earn their friendship. Imagine if, dude, some of my students are good friends now. And they have access to me to a level that otherwise they never would have gotten access to, regardless if they were successful or not. Because I believe a lot of these people at the core are going to be successful, right? Anyway, they have that raw foundation. I was able to help them mold it a certain way. And I played a pivotal part in that, of course. But they may have gone to somebody else. Just like you may have gone to somebody else. That's fine. That's fine. But find your tribe and your people and whatever it is, the best of the best, and go all in. I don't care if it's me or not. Because sometimes people get caught up when I make these messages. Oh, well, it's a dude. I don't care. I'm going to get enough anyway, bro. Like, I'm already a big brand, right? We have our thing going. Like, don't worry about me. This is about you. This is about you. But, some of these things, especially and I'll wrap it up like this. When times get tough, man, having that mentor or coach is pivotal. Because that's when you're going to potentially give in to pressure, quit, listen to other people who are naysayers. And that's exactly when you need us the most. Before then, of course. But in those moments, man, that's when we'll step in and tell everybody around you to shut the fuck up. And we'll fan the flames that you need a little bit more. And we'll bring you in a little bit closer in the circle. And we'll get everybody else, the tribe and the coach, to help you and dig you up and pull you out of that deep, dark place that without us there in your corner may not have been possible, may have broken you. And it sucks to be in that position and be like, fuck, I wish I had done this. I wish I had the support. Because by the time you look up and you really needed it and you don't have it in that moment, sometimes it's too late, unfortunately. But why even do it or wait for a rainy day? When you make the decision and commitment, I want to be the best, it starts then. Not, well, when I need it. No, you do it now, dude. Whatever it takes to start putting the pieces in place for that long, arduous journey. And it's going to be hard, even with the help. Yes, it's still going to be hard and difficult, man. As I'm ascending to the next level and the next level, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I'm finding more help, right? Getting more help. Man, this is the next mentor. This is the next friend. And it just keeps going and going and going, and it's never going to stop, right? Look at all the top people. I mean, of course, I studied basketball like Kobe, dude. Kobe had fucking, I don't know how many coaches and trainers and all this stuff to help him, whether it was nutrition, the building of his physique, his basketball skill work, shooting, all that, man. Just an absolute monster. Had coaches in every category. Tim Grover, right? He's a big one. He wrote that book, Relentless. Dude, I've been studying his stuff for almost 20 years now, long before he ever became famous. Getting his workouts and digging everywhere to pay, for that guy's training manual for training Jordan and all that. I got one of those manuals 20 years ago, and I had to pay at the time. For me, was a lot of money. I didn't care. I got it. And to this day, I have that book. They've done a rehash version called Jump Attack for increasing your athleticism as a athlete, basketball player. But I got one of the original ones before it got dumbed down to that, which now they sell for like $20, $50. man, but I had to call a lot of people and search far and wide. This is long before, Google and the internet and all this stuff, right? But you get the point. When you want greatness, you'll do whatever it takes to get there. Okay. So with that said, you guys have all the links below. Schedule your strategy call if we can help you. Want to discuss this a little bit further, get on the email list. We're here to help you. Team BC is out. BC out. See you on the next one. Supreme being. Shout out to all the support. Peace.